What's up, guys, and welcome to this. This is your New Japan Pro Wrestling Block A Finals / Night 11 Best of the Super Juniors 32 show review. I'm your host LK from the SOS Wrestletalk. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button, drop a comment down below on your thoughts and opinions on this morning's New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of Super Juniors 32 show that took place from Numazu in Japan with attendance of 668 fans. Going to break down the block matches, but before I do that, I want to quickly run down some other preliminary matches that took place that I did not watch, as during this tournament, as myself and Dion have done, we've only covered the actual block matches. So we had Titan and Yota Tsuji defeating Nagai and Nick Wayne. We had House of Torch, which was Sho and Yujiro Takahashi defeating Mayo and Kato. Then we had Desperado and Toriano defeating Hartley Jackson and Robbie Eagles, and Tiger Mask and Yo defeated Gedo and Ishimori from Bullet Club War Dogs, in which sounds like a truly riveting first four opening tag matches. But you're here to listen to our coverage of the finals, the final night in Block A. Thank you everyone who has listened to pretty much the full tour. I believe me and Dion have missed maybe one or two nights, but combined we've pretty much covered the whole tour this year, which is really good fun, and I've really enjoyed it. It feels very old school, you know, coming back from work, watching the New Japan, especially on nights, and I said this on yesterday's show, how when there's 10 block matches on one night, it's such a, not a chore, but it's a lot harder to sit through than when it's just 5, especially when it's 5 on the finals night. So let's jump into this. We had Block A. We had Ninja Mac against Dragon Dia. Both these men are eliminated, so they're, as the commentary team said, they're playing for pride. But this one was super fun. Overall, by the way, I give this show a weak win. I did generally really enjoy this one. Crazy fast start between these two, as you can imagine. Quick tech work, really good cradle cover exchange. Mac went for hit the ninja special, which is basically 100 backflips into a moonsault inside to out. Dia hit a really nice springboard moonsault to the floor of his own. Dia hit the Reptilarana off the top, which is basically a head scissors off the top, which is fucking scary every time. It really is incredible. Again, another good cradle exchange till Mac hits a super kick. Both men go down. Mac misses the Mac bomb, which is a Phoenix 620, which is a fucking nasty looking bump. That is truly nasty. Dia then goes for the leaping DDT off the top. It feels like that's it. Okay, cool. Dia's going to get the win, but midair, Mac hits the 520 spin kick to get the win. Both end on 8 points. Great showing from both. I hope both are there next year. I'm hoping both are there for Junior Tag League, and I hope we do see these guys. Both Dragon Dia obviously wrestles predominantly for Dragon Gate. Ninja Mac, as he said, he's a freelancer, obviously doing lots of stuff with Noah. Hopefully we do see more of these two, and it's not just a kind of best of Super Juniors. We need some guys to fill the role. You boys were good last year, in you come. Hopefully they do get some opportunities down the line. But Ninja Mac's gone viral. So many millions of views on the TikTok of him doing those crazy backflips. But really good tournament from both. It's a shame, obviously, not everyone could be in contention. But for a match itself, that's a match in particular, the Mac and Dia, that I would really enjoy if it got given an extra 10 minutes. Because they really didn't get that long. It didn't feel long anyway. Yeah, they only got 10. So if that kind of got 15, 20, I think that could have been really fucking awesome. But overall, again, not something you should skip. I know there's no kind of ramifications on anything in the future, but still a really fun match to watch. And then we had Kushida against Francesco Akira. Man, obviously Akira here on 8 points. And he could tie and make it to 10, which, spoiler alert, is something that fucking happened. But I was not heading into this one in a good mood, because I basically thought, well, there's pretty much no chance of him winning this thing after the DQ with Clark Connors. But I just want to say what a breakout tournament it's been for Akira. I've really enjoyed pretty much every match he's had, and I'm going to say it again, as I said on yesterday's show, I really enjoy this whole kind of ever since he beat Hiromu, this presence about him. It's like that win really established him as a future top junior heavyweight. And I think, having Hiromu put these guys over, like the Robbie X, like the Francisco Akira, it really helps elevate them, and you see them in a different light. Kushida, man, he's had a decent tournament. And I come on here, and every video I've done, I've said he's a massive what if. What if Kushida never went to NXT? Would he have gone the never open weight route? Imagine him versus Ishii back, 10 years ago, Shibata. There's what would he have done? But obviously he went, and whether he, continues to come over it in New Japan, hopefully he does, because I have enjoyed his run here. But at no point have I thought, man, he's going to win this thing. But these two, I was again heading in a bit of a Debbie down, a bit sad that Akira really doesn't have a chance to win the whole tournament. But these two had really good chemistry. There's really good back and forth. Akira applied a grounded tarantula at the end. Kushida with a backslide, which got a really good near fall. Kushida then applies a hoverboard lock. Akira counters that into a grounded tarantula. Obviously, he was trained by Tajiri in All Japan, which is why he does the tarantula, but it's grounded, and it looks really good submission. Looks like it really fucking hurts. That got the win. Boom. Really big fan of Francisco Akira. Really good match, to be honest. As always with Akira during this tournament, I'm blown away. I wasn't thinking much going into it, and I really enjoyed it. I just loved the smoothness of this match. It was like they wrestled 1,000 times. Maybe they have. And then we had the three not big matches, but the matches that had the most impact on the full tournament itself. So we had A Block's Master Wato against Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Heading into this one, Wato's on 10. Kanemaru's eliminated. But Wato can take the lead with 12 points with a win here. Whole match, Kanemaru attacking pre-bell using chairs, just constantly working the leg until he applies a figure 4 after working the leg for about 10 minutes. Sho then comes out. Kanemaru then gets his alcoholic beverage that he carries everywhere. He might have a problem. And he just starts whacking it on the leg of Wato, and then Wato taps. I put there the saviour, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, King Spoiler. So that's his job. He spoils it, and he's a heel, and he's a dastardly heel. But what I liked about this is you did have to sit through quite a long period of leg work, which to some people is boring. When you turn on Best of Super Juniors, you are expecting high flying. But having him just work the leg and the finish of the match, the whole story was Kanemaru fucking up Wato's leg, whether it was right at the start when he's throwing chairs at it, but then the finish to actually be involved with the leg, hitting the leg with a bottle, it got too much for Wato to tap. He taps on his dreams of winning winning A Block. I have nothing against Master Wato. I just think I prefer a lot more people in Block A. I prefer Fajita, I prefer Clark Connors, I prefer Hiromu. Definitely prefer Francisco and Kira out of the 5 that are on 10 points. So from that point of view, I was fist bumping my way all the way to the next match, which was Kosei Fajita against Clark Connors. Heading into this one, Connors is in 10 points. So at this point, if Connors beats Fajita, he's pretty much, minus Hiromu, he's got the win. And Fajita obviously on 8 points needs it to potentially make it a tie break. Again, one thing about these tours is as they are long, like this is night 11, these guys have been pretty much wrestling for the whole entirety of it, so 11 nights, and they're starting to come out with bandages. As I said, I just love it. It just feels real, when they're coming out and bandaged up and Clark Connors is limping. But this was a really good one. Fajita misses a moonsault off the apron to the floor, and then Connors hit a running spear, which is really nice. And they do the vintage chair spot where they launch them into the chairs. Connors uses the tire, right? This is his gimmick over there is this big tire, right? Well, it's not his gimmick, but that's one of the things he has with him. And he was literally stood on the apron, lifted it up, dropped it straight on Fajita's back. It looked absolutely brutal. And then he went to town on the back with slam suplexes. Fajita got a good near fall with a pop-up delayed German. Connors then got a good near fall with the gore. And then the Nemo special got the win. So Fujita on 10 points, Akira on 10 points, Clark Connors on 10 points, Master Wato on 10 points, and Hiromu on 10 points heading into the final, heading into the main event. So at this point, this junction, you're thinking, right, there is no way Hiromu is not winning this, because we're not going to have a tiebreak with 5 people in. At least that's what I was heading in. I was heading into the final thinking, Hiromu, Robbie X. Robbie X is going to get a lot of offense in, and Hiromu's going to scrape the win. And that way you protect Robbie X, and that's what I thought heading in when I hit play on the matchup. So we had Hiromu against Robbie X. Obviously, Robbie X is eliminated, but Hiromu will obviously win the block with a win. And they explained it to the crowd. There was a big gasp from the crowd, so I had that big fight feel that only New Japan can give and Japanese wrestling can give, which is why you should watch it. So this one, Robbie X takes control from the start, the vintage throwing into the chest when there's no barricades. So there's two things about it. If you're a Japanese wrestler in New Japan, or American for that matter, you turn up to the building, you look, you go, is there barricades? Nope. Okay, I'm going to be thrown into a chair. Turns up, is there a barricade? Yes. I'm getting thrown in the barricade. It's the tradition. There was the running dropkick off the apron to the floor from Hiromu, which I always hate. I just think he's one bad landing on the coccyx bone and you're paralysed. Hiromu hit a super time bomb off the top for a good near fall. Robbie X hit this insane Pele while Hiromu was kind of draping off on the top. Both no-sell Germans, crowd get really into it. Both hit a running lariat. Robbie X then goes for a handspring back elbow. Hiromu in midair hits a backstabber and then a lariat for a good near fall. And then Robbie X hits a handspring cutter in the X Express to get the win. I cannot believe it. A 5-man tiebreaker. That is unbelievable. Fujita, Akira, Clark Connors, Wato, and Hiromu Takahashi all on 10 points. Absolutely unbelievable. I would not think when this tournament started that this block, and which I want to say both blocks have been really good, and this has been a really good tournament, so I'm really glad this has been the one that I've got back into New Japan per se, especially as we're coming up to Dominion, and then we're G1 time, then we're Wrestle Kingdom time, and there's so much going on, but this block has been really good fun. I've really enjoyed Robbie X. I've thoroughly enjoyed Francisco Akira. I think he's absolute breakout. He's my VIP of Block A. Ninja Mac has had good matches and a standout, really made a name for himself with the viral moments, so he's done well. Dragon Deer, again, same as last year, but obviously coming from Dragon Gate, again, he's just done a really good job. Made, everyone here who's come, Robbie X, they've come over and they've, from different companies, and they've really shone. They really have shone. So I'm hoping that a lot of these guys do come back on the regular. But, so it is announced via the commentators that Fujita wins the block via tiebreaker. I have no fucking idea how on earth that happened. I have absolutely no idea. I'm I actually have no idea. All I know is Fujita just comes out and he was declared the winner. How did Fujita win the tiebreaker? Someone's got to know it somewhere. It must be... I have no idea how he won. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know. See, the thing is, everyone on here on Reddit, by the way, is moaning that we need to have more 50-50 stuff in tournaments. That was exciting. That was really exciting. No one seems to know. They're all just buzzing for Fujita, which I am too. I'm really glad he got the win. I actually said in my predictions video, I expect a Fujita versus, I believe I said Despy. I can't remember exactly. I definitely said Fujita to win the block, but I didn't expect him to win the whole tournament. That's what I'm going to say. So let's go to a Block B finals preview. Obviously, this takes place on Thursday. We have Sho versus Mo, Nick Wade against Titan, Ishimori against Yo. Ishimori is who I said would win. B block. El Desperado against Robbie Eagles, and the Funky Toilet Taguchi against Kevin Knight, and that will take place in Nagata in Japan. So I'm looking forward to that one, as should you be too. But with that in mind, guys, I want to wrap up here. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in so far in this tournament. If you haven't, go back and check it all out. With that in mind, I've been your boy LK from the SOS Wrestletalk. Make sure you stay safe, stay well. I'll be catching your asses down the line.